let's talk about fire blankets and fire extinguishers and when to use them and when to just run. Okay. Full disclosure, I am not a firefighter, and that's why what I'm going to go with is what firefighters tell us to do, which is run. Call 911 and run. But anyway, okay. So if somebody or something catches fire in a lab, okay, and you could actually use this technique at home. As a matter of fact, having a fire blanket in your kitchen at home is a really good idea. You could buy these at a hardware store, Home Depot, online. So it's an emergency fire blanket. So for a substance in flames, you pull down the blanket from the handle here. All right, you yank this down, the blanket comes out. Open the blanket fully and gently place over the flames. All right, they say gently because they don't want you to knock stuff over that's on fire and spread the fire. You leave the blanket over the fire and let it cool for at least 30 minutes. So the reason why this works, I bet you guys and girls know this already, is for something to catch fire, it needs something that can react with oxygen. This blanket blocks oxygen, so it stops the fire by choking the oxygen away. You could do this at home by taking a lid. Let's say you have a pan of oil that caught fire. You take a lid and you place it over the oil, then that stops the oxygen from getting in, and you will put the fire out, okay? Now, also, this fire blanket is useful if somebody's clothing were to catch fire. So if somebody's clothing catches fire, which is why I said to watch your sleeves, but I've seen it happen. I've seen somebody's sleeves start to catch. Thankfully, it didn't go crazy. If somebody's clothing catches fire, you pull the tab, again, remove the fire blanket from the pouch. Then you open the blanket fully and wrap around the person, whatever part of them's on fire. So you take the blanket out, all right, and then you wrap this around whatever part of them is on fire. And of course, in any of these situations, especially, well, if somebody caught fire, you need to get them medical help because they may have burns, okay? So again, think about that at home. Getting one of these for your kitchen is not a bad idea, okay? Because the alternative is, all right, so much messier, but also, let's talk about fire extinguishers really quick. So I'm not a firefighter, but here's the thing. I have used fire extinguishers before, and one of the main problems is we see these in movies and stuff. Yo, this thing is really heavy, and it's not even a big fire extinguisher. I'm going to be honest. Most people cannot even pick one of these up. All right, the other problem with fire extinguishers is that there are different types of extinguishers. This one, I believe, is a, let's see. Which type of extinguisher is this? Does it say which type? So there's some extinguishers that are just water. Those are only good for putting out paper fires because a lot of chemicals, if you pour water on them, you will make everything much worse. You can cause an explosion. All right. So there are 4 different types of extinguishers. There's a water extinguisher, which is only good for paper and wood. Then there's a Class B extinguisher, which has carbon dioxide in it. Again, only good for certain situations. This, I believe, is a dry chemical. Again, I'm looking for the label. I know I've read it. Oh, there we go. See? Class A extinguisher is only good for wood and paper because it's water. A Class B is good for like gasoline and things like that on fire. A Class C, which I think this is, it's good for electrical fires and other things. And the problem is I don't even know if I have the right extinguisher for the metals I have because metals can catch fire. And if you put water on that, yeah, you're not going to have a good day. So here's my thing. If you're ever in a situation where you think you need a fire extinguisher, call 911 and run. These things are heavy. They're very hard to use. You have to point the nozzle at the bottom of the fire, and I've used these, and you'll put a fire out, and the fire will come right back. And then you put it out, and it comes back. So, long story short, call 911. Honestly, leaving these here is really, they're for the firefighters that show up, okay? These things are super heavy, hard to use. Just run, all right? And let the firefighters have these for when they get into the room. Seriously. If you don't believe me, try to pick up a fire extinguisher.